Warning! The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. Terrible week, but the phone call was only 15 minutes this time, instead of 3 hours. ISPs deserve to die. In my frustration, I looked at Verizon, who was the ISP that I was looking to replace, and they've done 98% of my town, and I'm in that 2% that didn't get covered. They skipped my 4 blocks. 4 roads they skipped. I'm one of those 4. And then they skipped another part of the town. But it is FiOS, so you need cable. Like cables, like electrical lines running. And my block doesn't have those. So they would have to do fiber cable underground on my block. And they're only going to do it if enough people want to switch. Because then they would have to run the line all the way up the block. So, theoretically, if I can convince, like, half of my neighbors to switch from Optimum over, we will be able to get Verizon, which is fiber, and fiber is supposed to be faster internet. But, yeah, there's an update for the modem. The line work happened, and they didn't update the modem. Usually they do it when they update, and they didn't this time, and that's why we are screwed. Well, why we were screwed. But we're going to be talking about the new Nigerian meta today. It is currently over on GeoTips if we bring this on over. And it is just the quick, easy street sign meta. This took a long time to do. I was definitely at it for over 5 hours. Not 5 hours, 5 days. Ever since we updated Nigeria on GeoTips and we found out that there's probably a difference, I've been looking. Street signs aren't meta. They're not meta in that regard. But we're using meta as I don't even know. Because there's 2 types of meta. There's the meta that you think, well, it's the meta of like, this isn't a clue that you're gonna find if you were to go here. And then there's the other meta, which is like most efficient technique available or something like that. What up, 10? So the meta has a few different meanings, and I'm leaning more towards the most efficient or effective whatever available. But there is a difference between the shape and color of street signs in Nigeria, and there is a difference between the shape and color even in cities themselves. So this arrow right here on a pole is only going to be in Abuja. However, this arrow could be different colors, and we have found that the color doesn't seem to mean anything, but we do know that it is different. Isn't that fucking crazy? So, you know, Abuja is an arrow that has a border around it, while all the rest have been seen there. Now it's coming as the ones found in Abuja. If you find it on a pole like this with an arrow, 99% of the time it's going to be Abuja. There's no doubt in my mind that that arrow is going to help some people. And if you use it in conjunction with the follow car meta, I even talk about up here, it should hopefully help you definitely get better guesses in Nigeria. Then we go down to Ibadan. I've seen a lot of these rusty square signs on short little poles. They can't be more than 2 feet off the ground, right? Those I've found a lot in Ibadan. But I've also found these red and white typical street signs. I don't even know if these are technically typical. The red and the whites, those seem to be a little bit more rare. I think I only found like 2 or 3 examples of the red and the white in Ibadan. But most of the ones that I found were these squared signs by order, and it says Ibadan on it. It tells you where in Ibadan it is, and they're low to the ground. So if you do find street signs, especially in Ibadan, you're going to know it's Ibadan because it says by order Ibadan the region it is, and then LG, which I thought was going to be an NG for Nigeria, but it wasn't. But red and white, Ibadan, always good. Enugu, they use a bunch of colors. The only difference with Enugu and everything else is that the border goes all the way around. So the secondary color, whether it's this blue up here, the white here, the blue here, the white here, it makes a full rectangle around the Av sign, which is not something you actually see. Like if you look up here, I know it's terrible up here, so we'll go down a little bit, but we'll go back up. There's no border anywhere else. So this border that goes around these signs is only in Enugu. However, the color might throw some people. So don't worry about the color in Enugu. Worry that there's a border. There's a border to Enugu. That's all you gotta remember. So we'll start from the top again. Arrow equals Abuja. Small, tiny, rusty sign that says Order of Ibadan is Ibadan. Or this red and white, which is incredibly faded. The red and white could throw some people. Especially if you just rely on red and white, because Ibadan uses it and Lagos uses it, as well as some of the suburbs around Lagos. But border, Enugu. Has to be. And then we go to Benin City, which probably the worst, although it does say BC, which not every single one of them says BC, but I'm going to say about half, if not more than half, do say the BC on them. Which I'm thinking stands for Benin City, but I could totally be wrong about that. But they use two different variants. They use the short arrow, rusty or painted. As you can see, there's a rusty version and a painted version, or a rectangle that's rusty or painted. No method to the madness. It just happens that it could be either or. The best thing with Benin City is to confirm the follow car if you do find one of these street signs, because at least the Benin City follow car is more unique than other places, but it's there. And then we get all the suburbs of Lagos and the Lagos state. So Ikorodu and Epe, which is right here, use this black and white sign. And Epe and Ikorodu use a black sign with white lettering. Pretty much everything in this circle. This over here might be wrong, and this over here might be wrong, but the towns of these two use black and white. That's why it's a black circle. Then we have Aputu town, Abuti Leki, Ayejetu, the little town east, which is this right here. And then all the way down here. So everything in here, generally to where this cutoff is, we'll use green and white. The generalization, not perfect. The next few ones are a little bit more accurate for what their coverage is. But these places use green. So here's Epe, and here's the other ones. So clearly a difference based on where you are. And then ready for this one? Here's Aputu town. Here's Aputu town. This section uses red. They use a red and a white. Lekki, Ikoji, Victoria Island, half of Lagos Island. And this is the cutoff between this district right here and this district over here. So this right here would be a green sign, while this right here is a red sign. Clear distinction, clear cut. Takes care of it pretty much as simple as it fucking could be. Then we move on to Lagos Island and Ajungole. They use the yellow and the black. So again, this right here is this section right here. Very clear cut distinctions. Makes it very easy. Obviously, I would like to do a better map eventually, but my skills with Photoshop are pretty shit. Not so great at it. I think this is the last map. No, there's one more. So this is, I call it a greenish black sign. There are some examples of this sign that look a little bit more brown, but this one that I got, clearly black. Maybe it's because I'm partially colorblind, but it looks pretty brown in some cases. It might be the sunlight, it might be the shadows. I honestly don't know, but I do know that it exists and that it can confuse some people. If it's simple overlays, you don't mind helping out, not for the next week and a half though. That's fine. Yeah, it's essentially what I wanted to do. What up, Wolf Trekker? What I wanted to do was, you see, each different suburb is generally bordered by like a major road. And I essentially just wanted this to be all of the suburbs of Nigeria, and then each suburb just colored in with whatever the street sign you could find there would be. This is the last map we have. It is Bandagry and Magbon. They use the blue and the white. Now this isn't including the actual suburbs of Lagos. Those are all written out. Mainly because there were a lot of them and they weren't all together. Which is why I thought the image would definitely help. But these use blue, the blue and the white. And then now we have all the other ones, which is the green, the white, the red and the white, the black and the yellow, the blue and the white, and the black and the white. And then every single town that is following that pattern will be listed. So we have Morgoblo, Ikiji, Oba, Akran, Idi, Mangaro, Magbon, the suburb, not this town. Volkswagen and Ojo use green sign with white text. There are no maps here yet, blah, 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 but you can find the suburbs if you zoom in. The red and the white is Festic Town, Yaba, Oloworo, Ikosi, Ketu, and Satellite Town. The black and yellow is Ijora, Badia, and Jungle, Ifelodon. Now this is, I'm saying it's the suburb town name, but it seems to be like the region. I didn't list every single suburb. I didn't. But I also didn't find street signs as common as a lot of people would hope for. So there's also that problem. The blue and the white is Oriel, Igamu, Itare, Ikate, Iganu, I can't pronounce half of these. Ijugon, Ikotan, Ali Mosho, Idumi, Ayobo, Ipaja, Alagabodo, Alakuko, Egbida, Shasha, Iyana, and Idi Araba use the blue sign with the white text. And then the black with the white text is Samolu. Well, actually get rid of that N there. And Akoka, Ojo Koko, Ifa Koko, Lijai, and Aguda. So all of these different variants, we have technically 5. We have green and white, red and white, yellow and yellow and black, blue and white, and black and white. Those are pretty much all of the colors, besides obviously some of the ones you're going to find over in Enugu. But if you can remember 5 colors and the towns that are associated with it, you've already got a 1-up. So, just to show what I'm talking about on screen, we can click on any one of these arrows, well, any one of these Geoguessr pins, and we'll be brought to a city where you get to see for yourself. So, a lot in Lagos, because that's where most of the colors are. Just click on a random one. We got blue and white. So this area uses blue and white. And if we zoom out, it's probably going to be most of this that's going to be using blue and white. So let's just check and confirm. On the sign right here, blue and white. We can probably move a little bit just to get a better view. So, Alagabado. I don't know exactly where the border is, but somewhere in here, it's going to switch. I believe Abula Egba is not blue. No, it is blue. Is this blue? This is blue. So technically, this entire region right here, unless this is not blue, this entire region up here is blue and white. I think this is black, by the way. Yeah, this is the black and the white. This is the 4 square, which is one of the images we used. So A5 that comes through here splits the blue in the top, the black in the top. Then we have black up here, black and white instead of the blue and the white. And that looks pretty blue to me. It looks blue from here. I think it's black. Yeah, it's black. So, yes, that's a good defining line. Obviously, I haven't found every single street sign in Nigeria, but I did find 232 of them, which is 232 more than I thought I would find. I think this is red over here. No, it's black. It's still black over here. Obviously, I don't know the exact borders, but I do know that there are borders. That's the problem. Down here should be red. No, this is black again. Is this red? Nope, that's blue. There's the yellow and black, which seems to be near the middle. There's some more blue. Some more black and yellow. Some more blue. So I don't know if there's a pattern to it yet. I haven't really looked into it that much. But it does see like the left of Lagos is blue. It's like most of the left of Lagos is blue. The north was black and white. The right still has some black. Here's some red. So red to the south. If that's... but that's blue to the south. That's going to be weird. Because here's some more blue. So it kind of like wraps. That would be blue. That would be black. This would be red. This would be black and yellow. Festic Town was red and white. Over here, green. Did we find any green? Yeah, here's some green. So North Central is green. South Central is black and yellow. North is black. A little bit of East is black. West is blue. A little bit of South is blue. We don't have a map yet. That's the problem. So, I mean, it works, right? There's different colors for different areas of the city. What do those areas mean? I have no idea. I didn't look into if the colors meant anything. Like, you could only find blue in residential and you could find black in commercial. I didn't do anything like that. It might be feasible to do, but what can we do? All we can do is hope and pray that what we found is more than enough. Let's go to Ibadan. You're gonna see a lot of these random poles, random streets. Those are pretty much all of the street signs I found. But some of them do say Ibadan on them, by Ibadan. And here is one of the red and whites if you do find an actual street sign. Overall, not terrible. There's a lot to it. Enugu is missing one. Are you talking about one of the colors? Because I didn't put all the colors in Enugu in. Because there are a lot more than just one missing color. I also didn't talk about this, though. But you have the rectangle. If you can find the rectangle, that's what's important here. Is it's squared. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different variations. Yeah, the Ibadan style sign. I know that's there. But I felt like these were more important. Guys, it can always be updated. It can always be updated. There was 5 days in that when I released it. And the reason I released it was because I wanted to start doing the other stuff I have to do. Because I have a lot more to do than just research and look at Nigerian street signs. Especially, full-time job and shit. But this border around street signs tells you it's Enugu. And I'm pretty sure there's an arrow in here as well. It's not quite the Ibadan arrow, not the Ibadan, the Abuja arrow, but it's an arrow. And some of these I don't even know if they're real fucking street signs. But I need to get more from Enugu, I know. But this is the quote unquote Ibadan style. Let's be real. Do you see a fucking street here? The most important update this weekend was 9 moving paintings human high score list. That was a very good fucking game, Remy. Very good game. We'll go up to Abuja. Here's some arrows. Not quite the arrows you wanted, but arrows nonetheless, and they do have, on the pole with this border around them. And we checked to see if it was maybe, based on like the county or the region. We went on the other side, and we found the same thing. Blue with a white border, white with blue text, double green, brown with white text. It's this style. The shape and style matter just as much as the color. So, arrows, bougie. Could be low to the ground, could be high to the ground, could be with a border, could be without a border. But arrows, most likely a bougie. And it does extend out here as well to the suburbs. We have the arrows out here as well. Even with the border or without the border. This right here? No, it's right here. What the fuck is this song? Haunt My Dreams. What a great way to haunt the fucking stream. Abuja Arrow. Remember that. Abuja Arrow. But as you can see, most of it is Lagos. Benin City, we have quite a few. They're mostly on the sides. This one's made out of paper or fabric. Nice rusty arrow. There's even one. Doesn't look like it. Delete. Painted square, rectangle, just a regular rectangle. Nice rusty one. Another one. It's the flag style. It only really has one pole. Doesn't have another. Although there are cases where you'll find two supports for it. So, again, a different style, different city. Does the color really make sense? Not really. Here's one with two supports. Is it enough? Not really. Is it slightly different? Yes. Slightly different. But again, you see a lot of these squared ones in Benin City. We already talked about Enugu. We already talked about Ibadan. It's crazy. Epe, you get the black and the whites, and then just south, you get the green and the whites. Why is it this way? I have absolutely no idea. But it's this way, and because it's this way, we can do something about it. Which, now that we've done Nigeria, it makes me wonder if every other African country has different colored street signs. Could you imagine? Do we go check Kenya? It's not worth checking Uganda. Because Uganda only has 2 cities. And that's Entebbe and the other one. Kenya might be worth checking. In Israel, every town and city has different street signs. Fuck. Well, if you want to start putting them together, we'll add it to GeoTips eventually. What up, Six String? We were just talking about the meta, and now we're going to go see if Kenya has it.